And allow me to welcome everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators of our practice here in Spokane, Washington. I would like to acknowledge my wonderful, wonderful Kalyana Mitra. You know her as Lo. She is running all of the technology today. We're at Soul Center. Soul Center is a beautiful sanctuary and spiritual community in Spokane, Washington. On Fridays, we are meeting only online. Lo and I are here today working with the fire department and getting our fire system all checked out and up to code. We're being big grown-ups, I think. So friends, let's set the intention for our practice today. I'm just kind of fingering through my little basket of cards of metta. Metta is loving kindness. Loving kindness, metta or maitri, is a quality that in Buddhism is considered limitless. Our capacity to cultivate loving kindness is infinite. And that means that the opportunities to practice loving kindness are also limitless. So let's set the intention for this practice today to be this. And this one reads, may you see how you are is divine mystery. May you see how you are is divine mystery. Take a deep breath. Allow your gaze to be gentle. Maybe notice the candles that we have burning on the screen in the window that says Lo/Soul Center. This is our Gary altar. It's a floor altar, and on it we have displayed stickers and prayer flags. But we've also illuminated 6 candles to represent for the month of December our 6 meetings that we've had so far. And we are lighting a candle as a way of acknowledging that the month of December, particularly the beginning of December, is a time in the Northern Hemisphere and in the Pacific Northwest where the days are getting shorter, the nights are longer, darkness is settling in. And as practitioners, we can use this darkness as a metaphor to examine and gently explore our own inner landscapes, the interiority of our minds and emotions, and all of the places within that are dark or have been darkened. And the darkness can be related to trauma, negativity, neglect. On the journey of recovery, we have to be willing to examine, and it's more than just willing. We also have to be able, we have to have the tools to be able to explore these darkened spaces, these places of neglect, these places of rejection within, these places of pain and suffering that we have maladaptively used substances to try to ease. Now that we've taken that particular strategy away, feeling those darkened areas arising can be incredibly sensitive and daunting. And so we use the tools in Buddhism to help enable us to be present to it. And one of those tools is light, literally a candle. Another light, metaphorically, is your presence. And that, my friends, is what meditation is for. Meditation is present time awareness. So for our practice today, I'd like to invite us into the light of this moment and to recognize that for each of us here, we are likely in a safe place. All of us have clothing. I dare say most of us have had food and shelter. So our basic needs are met, which means we can close our eyes in safety, perhaps, or at least turn the gaze down and inward. Allow the body to relax a little bit. On Fridays, I have offered to Sangha members an opportunity to hear prayers and prayer requests. And I only received one, and it was for a particular Sangha member whose name I'm not going to say as a way of preserving confidentiality and privacy. But just know that a Sangha member has brought to my attention prayers for another Sangha member. And so maybe for our practice today, we can shine light, your presence, toward the well-being of our community. Every once in a while, you can open your eyes and just look at each person's name and maybe even recite the sentiment of loving kindness. May you see how you are is divine mystery. If that sentiment of loving kindness, if that idea of light toward another person doesn't resonate, take a moment to consider something that does. Maybe something much more simple like, may you have ease on your journey. May you remember your resilience. May your regrets be open doors for wisdom and healing. Maybe a prayer today is as simple as, may you enjoy this practice. As you're sitting here, many times in meditation, we are reminded to notice the mind. Today, let's not worry about the mind. The mind is going to do what the mind is going to do. It's going to think its thinky things. And let's just smile to the mind's capacity to think and to race and to perseverate and to stress and to conjure. Oh, the stories we tell. So let's just suspend that for a bit if we can, and instead bring the attention to a place that doesn't get nearly enough attention. I know the suspense is delicious, isn't it? What is she going to say? I'd like you to bring your attention to your hands, specifically your fingertips. The way you can convey presence to yourself and to another human being or to another living being is through the sense of touch at the level of your fingertips. These digits are extraordinarily sensitive. And so for our practice today, as a way of acknowledging the darkness within, the shadows we possess, I just gently encourage you to bring your hand at the level of the heart and tap with your fingertips at that heart. And only if this feels comfortable to you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. You don't have to participate. And in fact, applaud yourself for knowing yourself to know that, yeah, this isn't resonating. I'm just going to sit quietly and listen. Bravo you. But if you do want to do a little tapping here, I want to bring your awareness to that heart, the soft bodhicitta, the place where, as a human being, as a whole human being, I have experienced at the level of my heart great joy and peace. I've also experienced bewilderment and hurt, heartache, literally. Some of it I have done myself, done to myself. Others have done to me. I have witnessed my heart healing. All here tapping. All here for me to be aware that my heart isn't just wounded, isn't just broken. My heart is full of resource and resiliency. My heart is vulnerable and protected. Wouldn't it be grand if rather than asking people, "How are you?" we asked instead, "How's your heart today?" And then wouldn't it be grand if we asked that question and then could cultivate enough presence to really listen? Imagine if we were asked that question, "How's your heart today?" Imagine if we could soften the heart and open it enough to allow ourselves to actually speak it, even if we felt awkward or a little bit strange. I wonder about the connections we'd make if we could practice that level of discernment and honesty. Why don't we take a few minutes of silence to shine a light into the darker spaces of the heart and see and ask, "How is my heart?" And maybe in the quiet spaciousness of this reflection, we'll be surprised by what we hear. Friends, we live in a society that is governed by a narrative that is rather militant. Get with the program, get in line, hurry, hurry, go, go, do, do. The Buddhist approach is much more organic, it's slower, and it's definitely softer. The invitation today is to soften your touch. So, a couple of things to take home, to take with you into your days, is to gently tap that heart when you feel hardened, when you feel defensive, when you feel deflated. Tap it. Remember. That heart of yours is wonderfully resilient. When you go to get someone's attention, rather than use your whole hand to grab them, just use the pads of the 4 fingers and just see how just touching them very lightly that way can have a totally different connection. And then finally, as an awareness of heart healing and bringing some light to the heart and to those dark spaces, you can access this practice through the power of an embrace. This isn't an ordinary hug, however. This is a present, mindful hug. So the next time you hug someone that you really love, someone that you trust, who trusts you, take 3 deep breaths as you're hugging them. Allow your hearts to synchronize. And rather than tap their back with your hands, just press your hands into their back. Gentle pressure of the whole hand and fingertips. This is a strategy and a tool and a practice for softening and opening the heart to the light that is within you and is infinite in its presence. Alrighty, friends. Friends, let's go ahead and end our practice today with a dedication of merit. And for those of you who are new to Recovery Dharma, we always end with some kind of dedication. This is a way of reminding ourselves that anytime we come into the practice, anytime we come into Dharma, we can experience a degree of healing and transformation, but part of becoming a practitioner is also to extend that healing and transformation out into the world. We don't keep it to ourselves, we share it. And today, what we have stepped into is the recognition that our light, even if it is barely a flicker, just a little spark, it is always there, and it may be enough to illuminate someone else, the dark spaces of someone else. You just don't know. You have no idea the positive effect you have on people, complete strangers, standing in the grocery line, going to the mall, waiting for a coffee. The limitless ways you bring joy to people, truly, it's worth thinking about and considering. So let's dedicate this practice to the collective heart that aches, that weeps, that breaks. And may this practice of gentility and tenderness be a balm, a salve, through the way we touch, through the way we breathe, through the way we offer our presence, through the way we smile with our eyes, through the way we gain insight to our own sadness, suffering. May this dedication find all those who are suffering with substance use disorder and mental health issues, be them on the streets, in cars, in jail, in hospitals, in treatment centers all over the world. May they feel moments of warmth and acceptance. May they feel seen and heard. May they come into the limitless spaciousness of belonging and connection. All, friends, because you chose to practice and share that practice with us here today. Thank you. Namaste.